One of the great stories in Luke's gospel is what we hear in today's gospel of Jesus calling Peter. There's many, many aspects that you could question about. For instance, did Peter invite Jesus into his boat, or did Jesus just climb into his boat? They were out of their boats, washing their nets, and Jesus just climbs in there. That's unusual. And Jesus is teaching the crowds from the shore while Peter probably is not listening, nor his companions, because they're busy. And when Jesus is done preaching, he says, Peter, as long as I'm in your boat, let's put out right next to shore so I can be close to the people. And Jesus is preaching there too. And then he turns to Peter and says, let's go out into deeper water. So they move from shallow to deeper. That's very important. And out in the depths, they catch a lot of fish. Now Peter objects, we know what we're doing, and we didn't catch anything out there. We didn't catch anything in the shallow, we didn't catch anything in the deep. But what the heck? So they go out and they catch all those fish, and then we have the call. And Peter admits that he has met himself, which happens in the deep. And he says, "Depart from me, I am a sinful man." And Jesus says, "You haven't seen anything yet. If you come follow me, you will discover even more about yourself, because I will continue calling you out into the depths, into your deep." So that's where we are in the scriptures for this liturgy of the fifth Sunday of Ordinary Time. The prophet Isaiah has met himself. My lips are unclean. Jesus, God, the holy God, says, cleanse his lips with a burning ember. And then the prophet says, I can come now, send me. Peter says the same. In a way, I am an unclean-lipped person. Let's go back to the shallow and the deep. Why choose shallow? Why choose plastic? Why choose pretense? It's safer. If you're near the shallows, the waves will not tip you over. You can get to safety. You can get to control very quickly. Living in the shallows is a real invitation to not meet Jesus and not meet ourselves, except our shallow self. But Jesus, one of the calls of Jesus is to go out into the depths where I will meet you in the depths of yourself. And you will meet what Peter met, his what we will call sacred or blessed poverty, which is how depth reverses shallow. In the shallow, I don't want to meet my true self, my God-loved self. I will meet my love-approved self. Out in the depths, in the deeper parts of who we are, there's a poverty that, when faced, leads to great peace. To be met in our poverty by Jesus, by others, depends on whether I can meet myself there. Depth is the realization of how human I am and how loved I am as a human being. Peter wanted to depart from me because you're calling me to face myself. I'll go back to fishing in the shallows. And Jesus has invited him out to the depths, and he said, out in the depths, facing the poverty of myself, that's very humiliating. Because I live in the plastic, shallow world of performance, accomplishment, and approval. And out in the depths, I have to rely on you to help me face myself. Out in the depths of myself, I'm not afraid of the blessed poverty, the receptive poverty, that Peter received the tremendous amount of fish because he was out in the deep. And we will relate with others, inviting them as much as we respect boundaries, helping them meet their depths too. And as Peter experienced with Jesus, people whom we meet in their poverty, it will be a blessing for them. They have to meet it in the depths. Real friendship with others is deep calling on to deep. Meeting with God is the depths of God's love, meeting the depths of our human need to be loved, to be known. We are very afraid of others knowing our poverty. It's a cursed poverty. It's a poverty to be covered up, to live in the shallows with it, so no one sees it. But in facing my depths, while it's humbling, it's a blessing. It's my truth. It's where I can really be met. And the more I meet my poverty and let God meet my poverty, I will let you meet me. Jesus helps us meet ourselves, who we really are. Peter was a shallow fisherman. That's why he didn't catch anything. I will make you a fisher, a catcher of others, because you have met yourself. You have allowed yourself to be caught in the deeps, in the awareness of your personal poverty. And it is not a disgrace, but a grace from which you come back to shore. Leave everything that accounted for much. I will allow you to relate with others heart to heart, soul to soul, depth to depth, and you will catch many and help them catch themselves, as I, Jesus says, have caught you. So we pray to live unafraid of the experiences of personal poverty, not covering them up. That's shallow living. That's playing with Lego blocks. We are asked to live person to person with myself first, because that's where Jesus meets me, asking me, can I call all of you? Can I call your totality, of which poverty is but a part? We live the Eucharist because he has come into our boats. Whether we have invited him or not, he has invited us then to allow him into our boats, and he will say, come on out into your depth. That's where real life is.